I'll have a blue Christmas without you. How about you? Welcome to Sikbaggers YouTube channel. I'm Steve. Today we're going to be doing a complete part build list on the 2015 Road Glide back here. If you watch our channel a couple of months ago, we did one on the Street Glide back here, the 2014 Street Glide, where I actually walked you through every single part that we put on the bike to get it to where it is right now. I actually want to share something with you because I just think that it's pretty cool. And I found them 2 or 3 weeks ago and ordered some stuff from them, and it turned out really cool. But this company here, this Torque Motor Company, I actually seen one of their ads, jumped over on the website and checked them out, and they're actually a small business. I think it's very cool to support small businesses, especially when they're doing motorcycle stuff. And they got some really cool shirts and hats and some flannels and shoes, jeans, vests. They got all kinds of stuff over there, so check them out. So when we purchased 2015 Road Glide, we bought it like this. I'll throw this little picture up here. Pretty much bone stock. I think the only thing that had been done to it, it had slip-ons put on it, and that was pretty much it. So if you purchased your first Harley touring motorcycle and you're watching this video because you're wanting ideas on what to do, my biggest tip that I can give you is come up with a plan ahead of time. I see a lot of people buy motorcycles and they don't really have a plan on what they want that bike to look like. So they end up purchasing this part because it looks cool and they put it on there, and then they see this and oh, that's cool, and they put it on there, and then those things don't really match. There's not any kind of rhyme or rhythm to the bike. Just come up with kind of like what I call a theme, like how you want that bike to look like when you're done. And I'm sure I'm in the same boat as a lot of you. We can't just get a theme in our head and then go online and purchase 300 parts at $7,000 and build our motorcycle and have all the parts here and put it together. So more than likely you're going to be building your bike over time, making it more unique, making it your motorcycle. But my biggest thing is just come up with a plan ahead of time. And if you see something cool on the internet, if it doesn't quite fit your build, don't buy it. You know, or you can take that idea like, oh, I like that part, but it just doesn't quite flow with my motorcycle, and start researching that part and see if you can find something better, because more than likely there's something out there that's going to fit your build. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is all of the Advan Black color match stuff. Everything pretty much body wise on this build is going to be just like the Street Glide build with the Advan Black color match parts. And we're going to start here with the color match tank cover. This is a bolt-on tank cover. You don't have to glue it. All of the tank covers that are on the market outside of the Advan Black ones are actually glue-on tank covers. The Advan Black tank cover is a great option if you just want to get it color matched. It comes ready to put on the bike, bolted on, and you're done. Right above that, we have the Advan Black tank dash. That's a low profile tank dash, and it will come with a pop-up gas cap. It's very low profile, and it gets rid of that big goofy dash that Harley puts on there with the reverse gas lid that makes it a pain to get gas. Then we're going to go back to the Dominator Fender. This is going to be a complete fender replacement. It's very easy to do. We've got walkthrough videos over on the Advan Black YouTube channel that show you how to put that on. It's very easy, but once again, it'll come color matched, ready to put on your bike. They do offer that in the dual cutout, single cutout, and the no cutout. We've got the no cutout on the Street Glide because we've got a side dump exhaust, so we don't need holes back there for our exhaust. So if you have a 2-in-1, you've got the exhaust on the right side, or like the Road Glide here has dual exhaust on it, so we've got the dual cutout. Comes with a nice French tint plate, which you can also get in chrome or black as well. And then of course the CVO tail lights that are in there, you can get those in red or smoked. Now on top here, we've got the 8-inch speaker lids. Advan Black has those in 6x9, dual 6x9, or the 8-inch like this. It's gonna have the 8-inch hole, and then you have a spot right above that for a 1-inch bullet tweeter. So we don't drill those out for the bullet tweeters. You will have to do that, but once again, videos on that. It's very simple to do depending on what tweeter you want to put in there. Underneath those lids, we've got the 4.5-inch stretch saddlebags. Those are really nice, give you a little bit more space down in the bottom. You really clean up the side of the bike, just kind of gives it that, you know, semi-stretch look, but also keeps it rideable. So if you actually ride your motorcycle and you're wanting to get stretch bags, a 4.5-inch is a great choice because it's actually rideable. Right up in front of all of that, you've got these stretch side covers. Now they do offer these. These are the ones that go with the 4.5-inch stretch bags. You can see this link where they taper into the bags is quite a bit longer. Like I said, they do offer the saddlebags that are like the tapered saddlebags that Harley sends out on the specials and the CVOs, and they make side covers that match those as well. But that gives you a really clean look. And on the very back, we have the Razor Tour Pack. Now, of course, this one has the 8-inch lid as well from Ad Van Black. It has dual 8-inch, dual 1-inch titanium tweeters. Once again, you have to drill those for the tweeters, but you can order the Tour Pack from them in Razor, which is the smallest, the Chopped is the medium, and then the King, of course, is the big one. This is the 14 to 16 chin spoiler. The 17 up Milwaukee 8 one looks a little bit different because the front end of that wishbone up there is just slightly different, but cleans up the front of the bike right there. Just gets rid of that old plastic clunky cover that they put over the oil cooler when you buy the bike. So very clean look and adds some great style to the front of the bike. And then up here in the front, we have the LED attack headlight, which is also from Ad Van Black. This has integrated turn signals, and we do provide all of the wiring harnesses for that as well. So it's complete plug and play. Most all of the other ones that I've seen on the market, you have to do all the wiring and splicing and all that stuff. But if you get it from Ad Van Black, it's completely plug and play. Absolutely love that headlight. Super aggressive look and super bright. And right on the edges of the attack headlight, we've got these little mesh grills. I actually just picked those up from eBay. It came with one for the top vent that didn't fit where the crab, but it was like 12 bucks or something like that. And they were black already. Those little grill screens that go in there just keep bugs and stuff from flying up and shooting right up at you in the face. Then we move on down to my absolute favorite part of the build was the PHAT tire kit. We got that from Native Custom Baggers. Check those guys out. This is the 1855 kit, and we do have a video on our YouTube channel if you're thinking about installing this. Trust me, it's super easy. It takes about 4 or 5 hours, even if you've never done it before. Follow the video, it's step by step, and you can do it at home. Just watch the video and get those few basic tools that you need to do it before you start it, and you'll have it done in no time. And trust me when I tell you, you'll save a ton of money doing it yourself. The wheel is just an Enforcer knockoff, and of course we got it black, and it's gonna come with whatever bearings you need, but you can call Native, and you just walk through what bike you have and what you're actually wanting. That's the Halfbreed fender. Now, of course, I had to take that fender because it does come raw. I had to find a local painter that does Harley parts, so keep that in mind too. Your fender will come raw, so you're gonna have to have somebody around you that can paint. The PHAT tire kit on the Street Glide or the Road Glide is an absolutely amazing ride. Moving on up to the top of the fairing, we've got the Ciro LED window trim for the Road Glide. Now this has integrated turn signals on it. These things are pretty cool because you can get this in chrome or you can get these in black, and you can get this center piece there as well that goes under the center of the windshield. That's another little piece of trim there, but the edges have the turn signals integrated in a thin line right underneath the windshield trim. So adds a great bit of light to the front of your bike without, adding big bulky lights to the front of your bike. It's nice and sleek, but adds that extra light that you need so people know where you're going. And moving on up from that, we have the 9-inch Klockwerks Sport Flare. Now we did a video on this as well, how to measure for a Klockwerks windshield for a Road Glide, and we did one for the Street Glide because you measure completely different. Two completely different fairings. So I'm gonna give you a little tip here. If you can find a local Harley Davidson or a JP Cycles or something like that that actually carries these windshields, and they will let you put it on your motorcycle as a demo and ride it around, I highly suggest that you do that because these windshields are not cheap and the measuring system is not exactly perfect. It's not science. They're just kind of giving you something to base off of. So I did a lot of research before I bought a windshield. My original windshield was a Klockwerks as well on the Street Glide. Did a lot of research before I did that. Found out they're pretty expensive, and then I found out why they're so expensive, So with the windshields, it's that old cliche of you get what you pay for. And with the Klockwerks windshields, I can tell you, I don't think I've been hit in the Road Glide windshield, but I've been busted twice on the Street Glide windshield and didn't even nick the plastic. And I'm talking a pretty good sized rock. A big enough rock that I thought it was absolutely just busted the windshield, but not even a single nick on it. So super tough plastic makes them worth the price. It's the last windshield you're gonna buy. Down here on the side of the fairing, we've actually eliminated those big bullet blinkers that just kind of make that already big Road Glide fairing just look goofy to me. It just like kind of little bitty dinky ears hanging off the side of this big fairing. We got the Covington custom LED turn signals. They're very low profiled. They do come dimpled, what they call dimpled. You can see these little dimples in the side of them, and they're actually contrast cut. So I actually had to disassemble those completely, have them repowder coated to all black, and then I put them back together and put them on the bike, which wasn't a big deal. They're very small circles, but I wanted absolutely everything on the bike to be black. Moving back to the handlebars, we got the Road 6 naked handlebars. These came from Road 6 Customs. I love the way they look. The little caps on the end, they are removable, so it makes pulling wires super easy. And we do have a walkthrough video on that as well on our YouTube channel. And right below the link to the handlebars, I'll put the link to the handlebar install. Moving to the center, to the ignition, we've got the Joker Machine ignition cover. I actually picked that cover up over on getlowered.com. It was the only one on the market that was solid black that I could find. And I've got a lot of Joker Machine parts on the Street Glide, so I trusted the company, trusted the brand, that it wasn't gonna fade or, you know, look goofy in a couple of years. So, and I was right, still solid black to this day. Simple, easy, stick-on cover. Like I said, you can get that from getlowered.com. And up here on top, the master cylinder covers. Of course, everything was black on this bike already. The perches and stuff were black, so that worked out for me on that, but I did have to change the covers that were up there. But I went ahead and replaced those covers anyway with new seals, and those are Joker Machine as well. I like those because they were plain. I wanted just a plain, simple, no sticker, no words, plain simple cover. Once again, got those from Get Lowered. Moving to the grips, we got those are Harley Davidson. They come black like that, and those are the Dominion grips. There's a whole line of Dominion products that they put out, that Harley put out. I'm not big on purchasing a lot of stuff Harley Davidson. I'm not that guy where everything on my bike has to be from Harley Davidson. But when I was looking at grips, I saw those Dominion grips and absolutely fell in love with them. They're pretty comfortable. They're not, I mean, they're definitely not Avons. These little rubber things here, not filled with air. It's just a rubber and a couple of black strips on there. They just look mean, they look tough, but they're still pretty comfortable too. And just like on the Street Glide and the Softail build that we're doing over here, I picked up the Kuryakyn Boss Blades. I absolutely love these levers. The clutch and the front brake lever from the Kuryakyn Boss Blade line is awesome. It's got a really clean look to it. I actually have those on the Street Glide in chrome, black on here, and we got another set of chrome that's going on this Softail build. And on top of that, we've got the Arlen Ness Mini Ovals. They are pretty small mirrors, but you can see a lot out of those small mirrors. I've seen a lot of bikes and a lot of builds get done and are very sleek, and then they have this just big, goofy, god-awful mirrors, because a lot of people have the misconception that if you have this little small mirror, you can't see around you that well, and that's just not the case. I can see just as much in that mirror as I could the stock mirror that was on it. I get a lot of questions on that gas cap and where I've got it. And I'll be honest with you, there's some really expensive ones out there on the market, but these are from eBay. I think they're like $13, $14. With the touring models, you just want to make sure that you get a vented one. There are some out there that aren't vented. You have to make sure that they're vented. In order to run that gas cap, of course, you have to have the low profile tank dash, and you can have, there's several on the market, but they have in black one it works really good with. But the pop-up gas cap that comes with that is a vented gas cap. So you have to make sure that you get the vented model of the crown gas cap if you do want to add that. We'll move down to the air cleaner, one of my favorite air cleaners on the market. We've bought several of them. I've installed several of them, is the Arlen Ness. All right, if you jump over to the Arlen Ness website and you look at all the different air cleaners that they have, the inverted series, which is what we have on the Street Glide, that one's called the 10 gauge, this one's called the 15 spoke. Basically outside of the outer edge is the same air cleaner, it's just the outer edge of it, you know, the style changes. So went straight back to Arlen Ness. So if you're planning on doing just a simple stage one, that's a good place to start, is with an open air cleaner. And you have to have an open air cleaner. More air in, more air out. So you know, the air cleaner, the headers, and the exhaust, and then of course a tune. Which, by the way, this bike is also tuned with a Power Vision. The reason why we bought a Power Vision is because I can tune multiple bikes on one tuner. A lot of the tuners that are out there on the market actually require you to buy a tuner per bike. Once you put it on that bike, it's married to that bike. So if you sell that bike, that tuner goes with it. I can buy a $400 tuner, and for $200 I can buy another tune. So I own one tuner that I've tuned the Street Glide, tuned the Road Glide, and tuned the Softail. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're shopping for tuners if you are doing a stage one. And with all the rest of the bikes, we did the Harley Davidson Screamin Eagle fat plug wire kit. On the Street Glide, we have the orange with the black letters. Road Glide, we have the black with the orange letters, as you can see here. So I want to touch on the powder coating real quick. It came to realization very quickly that if you're going to black out a bike, powder coating is definitely the way to do it. You're gonna save a ton of money. I came out here and took everything off the bike that was silver, chrome, whatever. Everything I wanted black. Like I said, when I started this, I wanted it completely blacked out. Took everything off the bike, boxed it up, took it to a local powder coater. He had it for about 5 days. I got everything back. It cost me I had probably about 65 parts that I took over there, not including bolts and washers. I painted a lot of that stuff myself with high temp paint, but all the big parts that I took over there and got back was around 400, 450 bucks. Now, that may seem like a lot of money, but you're talking about 65 parts. I could not possibly ever replace everything on that bike with black parts for 450 bucks. If you are in an area like us where you get all 4 seasons, you know, spring, summer, fall, and winter is a great time to get that done. It generally only takes about a week, maybe 2, depending on your powder coater and how many parts you're taking. So in that week or 2 period of time that you're waiting for your parts, you can go ahead and get your new bolts and start painting your bolts, get your new gaskets, because a lot of this stuff took new gaskets. So make sure you have everything here when the parts come in, and then you just go over and get your gasket and put your new part back on. Save tons of money. So going back to what we were talking about a while ago with the Stage 1 setup, we've got the Tab Performance headers and also their slip-ons. These are the 4.5-inch slip-ons with the slash cut tips. I did a video install on the headers and the slip-ons as well, so you can check that out. That's another one of those super easy things to do. You can do at home, save yourself a ton of money. You don't need to take it to Harley to do that. Just a couple of wrenches and you can get that done. You know, I did mention in the video that I have changed a ton of exhaust out here. You know, that's one of the first things generally that somebody does when they buy a Harley is change the exhaust, because they come out off the floor sounding like a gold wing, and of course you want to make them louder. So that being said, I've heard a lot of exhaust, and when I got the Tab Performance exhaust, I wasn't quite sure what I was getting into. You know, you can listen to the little sound clips online and stuff, but one of the best sounding exhausts that I've ever installed on a bike. Absolutely love them. If I didn't have a side dump on the Street Glide, I would go back with Tab Performance on the Street Glide. Now, of course, underneath the bike we have the SOB Centerstand. This is the Southern Oregon Baggers Centerstand, and this is the style of Centerstand that you have to run if you're going to be running dual exhaust. I've got a couple of videos on my channel that talk about running dual exhaust with air ride and a center stand. And I still see it today that there's people out there that be like, you can't run a center stand with dual exhaust. Yes, you can. There's a Street Glide that had dual exhaust on it for 4 years with a center stand, and that Road Glide's got dual exhaust with a center stand. So don't tell me you can't do it. Check out my videos, it's very easy to do. Like I said, you can get that from Ronnie over at Southern Oregon Baggers. That's where we get all of our center stands from. We've installed a ton of center stands with air rides with 1-inch lowering blocks right here on this lift, and they're still out there rolling today. We talk about the air ride on there that's right now that works with that center stand. We have dirty air on there. I did a complete install video for that as well. So if you're thinking about getting air ride on your bike on the rear, we don't have a video yet for the front, but we do have them for the rear. So it's a complete install walkthrough from start to finish on adding air ride to your Harley touring motorcycle. Absolutely love the dirty air. I've had 0 issues out of it, and those guys over at Dirty, they answer the phone every time you call them. So if you ever have any issues, they will be there to take care of you. Moving on up here to these swing arm covers we have. We got these from Figurati Designs. We actually did a video on these about a month ago. This is just one of those areas that get overlooked all the time, and I explain all of this in the video. Little plastic caps that come on there allow water and stuff to get in there and can rust out your bolt and your nut and your swing arm, which can make it a huge pain in the butt to get off your bike if you ever need to. These caps that come from Figurati Designs, they're jewelry grade caps. He has several designs that go on there. And also real quick, if you use the code SIKBaggers over there, he'll give you free shipping on those as well. So, but these caps, like I said, we got the Army ones on this one. We got the solid polished kind of chrome style over on the Street Glide because it's chrome. But this one's the black one with the US Army. Army veteran, so I got those. And what's cool on the back of that is it has a rubber seal on there. It's going to keep all your water, dirt, and all that crap out of there. And to keep them locked in, there's like a spring-loaded bearing. There's several spring-loaded bearings that go around it. But like I said, check those out over at Figurati Designs. We'll put the link down below. And remember, SIK Baggers get you free shipping. And after I got my air ride and my center stand installed, it was kind of the same deal on the Street Glide. I already knew about these guys, learned them from the Street Glide build, but AF Kustoms offers a switch that mounts above your horn. And you can get that switch in several different flavors from Shane over there at AF. Both of these bikes actually have the triple switch on there. That one's chrome, this one's black. So the triple switch allows me to run rear air ride, center stand, and then front air ride. Like I said, we plan on doing front air ride on both these bikes, so we already have the switch there for it. If you get air ride and a center stand, generally you're going to mount those down on the firewall underneath your seat. So when you're parking, you're constantly reaching under there and burning your hands on the exhaust. It's just a pain in the butt, feeling around, trying to find the switches. And when you have them right there above the horn, amazing. Very cool from Shane over at AF Kustoms. Now the front of our bike may actually look like it's setting on air because it's setting so low, and it's just not the case. We actually lowered the fairing 2 inches. DD Kustoms has a block that goes in there that you can lower the fairing. This block has a set of 8 holes in it. What's holding that fairing on is right there in the front of the triple tree. You've got a block with 4 bolts in it. Now his block has 8. So it has the original 4 holes to where you're gonna mount the block, but it drops down depending on what size of drop that you wanna buy. So right below those original 4 mounting holes, you'll have 4 new holes that you mount your fairing to, and that actually lowers the fairing of the bike. And one thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about the fat tire kit was the flush axle. We actually purchased that flush axle from Native when we got the kit. Just cleans up the front of the bike. You don't have the big axle nuts on there anymore, and you have to buy axle nut covers and put on there. All of the audio that's in this bike is PRV, Stetson, and Sound Digital. All of this stuff was purchased from Guild. His company is actually called Motorcycle Sound Systems Miami. You can find him over on Facebook. Of course, I'll put the link down below. Sound Digital 804 in the front, Stetson 404 in the front. We got a Stetson 804 in the tour pack back here. All PRV speakers, PRV 6.5s in the front, PRV 8s, PRV titanium tweeters, PRV 8s once again in the tour pack with PRV titanium tweeters that match the saddlebag lids in the tour pack. So if you're interested in building a system like that, get a hold of Gail down at Motorcycle Sound Systems Miami. Like I said, I'll put the link down below. So most of you watch my channel, you know how I am about LEDs, and that includes LED accent lights as well. On the Street Glide back here, we've got the Ciro shock and awe kit on it, you know, and that thing's just amazing. It does all kinds of stuff. It's got an app, and it's just a really cool kit. But on the Road Glide, I kind of wanted to show you the flip side of getting a top-end LED accent light kit versus just getting a, you know, $50 one off of Amazon. And because I understand that there's a lot of people out there that don't have the funds, it's just not in your budget to buy a top-end LED light kit. So we went with a $50 or $60 one off of Amazon. We installed it. It's bright, it's got several different colors. They don't really last that long. We had one on the Street Glide before we put the Ciro shock and awe kit on there. You know, they just are what they are. They're about 50, 60 bucks. They're very limited, the options. There's not a whole lot of options to them. You can flip through a few colors, but they are bright, but they're only, you know, 50, 60 bucks. And you get a butt ton of wire that you have to cram behind your side cover, and it's kind of a hot mess. But if you want LED lights on your bike, this is what we got, and this is what they look like. So, but if you're keeping the bike for an extended period of time and you really like your accent lights, really seriously look into the Ciro shock and awe kit. It's so much better than these cheap Amazon kits. However, these do work if your budget just doesn't allow for it. So all of that's gonna wrap up the entire Road Glide build. But if you're good and you paid attention, there's a couple of parts on here that I actually skipped over. And there's a reason for that, because those are new parts that are gonna be coming out very soon. So you're gonna have to stay tuned for those videos. Can't really talk about them right now, but a few things that we skipped over on the build we'll talk about in future videos. So I hope this video helps you if you're actually planning a Road Glide build. If you have a Street Glide, be sure to check out our Street Glide build list. We actually did that a month and a half or so ago, so check out our channel for that. So if the video helped you at all, don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I'm going to get out of here and get my butt back to work. I hope to see you in the next video, but until then, as always, be safe. Keep your knees in the breeze. Thanks for checking out the video. Don't forget to hit that like and that subscribe popping up over here. And don't forget to check out the rest of the channel, because we have a ton of bagger related and soft tail videos on our channel. And to get you started, maybe you can check out this one or this one. I'm not really gonna say anything else. You can just click one of those and take you over to another video.